everyone. Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
beautiful. Yeah, I can hear you, Jess. Hi, is it Maya?
Maya, like the month.
Maya. Okay, beautiful. Nice to meet you. Hi, Shannon. You're on mute, lovely. That's all good. Oh, I can hear you now. Oh, no, I can't. You've gone again. That's okay. Alrighty. So how many
to go after an hour? Sorry, just.
Oh, no, that's okay. Not a problem. I'm going to be recording, so the replay will be available, and I'm going to be hanging around in the group for another 2 weeks. So there's a lot of stuff that you in particular, Jess, needed support with, which is totally fine. Look, systems are like a never-ending labyrinth that can get overwhelming. So yeah, don't worry about any of that. I am hanging around and all of your questions will be answered. So yeah, that's all good. Now, how many people are in Business Alchemy Mastermind? Does anyone know? Hey, Tash. Oh. She's driving.
Yeah, I am. So I'm here, but I'm just going to be in the car. We've got 7 people in the mastermind.
Okay, that's right. I might just wait a couple more minutes to see if anyone else will be joining us.
Sindra and Luke can't make it.
Sindra and Luke can't make it. Okay, so who else are we missing? Shannon's back in.
Hortensia.
Okay.
Yeah, and Steph, who's away as well.
Okay, cool. So that it might be this might be it, which is totally okay. Not a problem at all. Now, I did prepare a beautiful presentation for you all. However, after receiving all of the feedback in the group, I'm not so sure that that's the way to go. So what I might do is go through all of the questions and answer all of the questions that were asked in the Facebook group specifically, because then we'll know how much time we've got at the end, in which case I can go through those other things. And then because I am in the group for another 2 weeks, I can just do like mini lives in there and show you, because I've got some really awesome templates that you guys can implement, and I'll show you how to use them in that. So how does that sound? Does that work for everybody? Yeah, cool. All right.
That's good.
Let me find my document that I did yesterday. I also have a sick little one at home, so I really do apologize if there are any interruptions.
All good, darling. We've been there before, all of us.
Yes. Her dad is here, but you never know. You know what it's like. Here we go. BAN Q&A. Really, all right. So I can't minimize my screen when I'm recording, but that is okay. So Jess, there were quite a few questions from you that everybody else could benefit from listening to. So I will just read kind of like the question and then give you what I think would be best for you, because with systems, there are literally, like, for example, a booking system, there are 30 different booking systems or payment systems and things like that. And you need to kind of be able to work out what is best for you and not be distracted by shiny object syndrome, because you've also got to take into account what stage you're at in your business. So Jess, I think that you said that you were restarting your business. Is that correct?
I guess you could say that. I would probably just say starting. Even though I've been working with clients, it's never really been a structured business model. It's just been word of mouth in my spare room at home. And it's probably only been the last year that I created a website, got my business cards and started marketing and got a little bit of structure happening.
Nice.
So still new.
That's okay, not a problem. So I'll also be keeping an eye on the chat, guys. So if when I'm talking, any of you have any questions that come up, please pop them in there, because even if I don't get to them today, I'll make sure that they're answered inside the Facebook group. Okay, so Jess, one of your first questions was that you've paid for a videographer to get some footage to market your next NLP training. It's 4 minutes long. You want to attach it to your website and also be able to send a link via an email for prospective students to watch. Obviously, it's too big to email, and your GoDaddy website wants you to add it from an uploaded YouTube or Vimeo video. You don't have an account with either. What is the best option? So YouTube and Vimeo, for those of you who don't know, they're basically video hosting video hosting platforms. Okay, you can host just audio on there, but you will have to upload an image as the background to the audio, but that's a totally separate conversation. Okay, now YouTube has the most number of viewers compared to Vimeo, but Vimeo offers higher quality video uploads with better sound, as well as ad-free viewing. Okay, so YouTube does have ads, unless of course you upgrade to the paid account. Now, YouTube has no kind of weekly limits uploads, whereas Vimeo caps your weekly uploads unless you're paying for it. Now, accounts start from $7 a month on Vimeo, whereas you can start off on a free, like to not have your things capped, and YouTube is free. Okay. If you're just starting out, I would suggest YouTube, unless you are like a singer, songwriter, you know, graphics creator. I would say stick with YouTube, because you can set it up for better SEO, search engine optimization, which means you're more likely to get found in a Google search. Okay. Now, the audio and things and video on YouTube is absolutely fine. So for example, I'll just share my screen with you. I just recorded a meditation for one of my freebies last week about how to connect and go live on video. And obviously that is on YouTube. And I just want to share with you the sound quality, okay, to show you that it is absolutely fine. And I popped in the Facebook group a link on how to upload a video to YouTube if you've never done it before, okay? So can you guys hear that sound? You may have experienced a situation where you spoke up and it didn't turn out the way you expected. So I'm just going to skip ahead, because then I've got some actual video footage, not of me, but like stock footage at the back. And I just want to show you that the sound is great, like it's not bad. At the base of the spine, slowly filling up with the nurturing, grounding energy of Mother Earth with each inhale. And as the chalice begins to fill, let it overflow. Okay, so that sound was all right, right? Like in the video was clear, you could see all of that. So I think, in my opinion, YouTube is the easiest way to go, but you could go either way. This is the thing with systems, right? It's all about choice. I personally use YouTube in my businesses. And yeah, does that answer your question, Jess? Vimeo versus YouTube? Yep.
Okay, great. I've got a couple of follow-up with that. So what if it's not really your agenda to get found, and it was just the things you putting on YouTube would only be for the link to share with others? So the meditations that I put on there are only for the people part of my Facebook group, and I would share the link for them to find it, not necessarily to get the SEOs,
yeah.
SEOs.
If you're uploading it onto your website, you still want it to be SEO'd, that video.
Right.
Okay. If you are only going to share the link, like, and you only want it to be available for people who, for example, giving you their email address, you would upload it to YouTube as an unlisted video. Okay, not public. Which means
still have the S.
It would have SEO, yep, on search engine optimization. So that's what the search engines like Google and all of those types of things use as a basis to go, is this business like legit, or is it just rubbish? Should I show it to more people when they're searching, for example, NLP practitioner Newcastle?
Got it. And even if it's unlisted on YouTube, if they search that and it's
if
on my
you've
website,
SEO'd it and it's embedded on your website, then yes, it's better for you and your website to be found.
So I have to SEO it.
Yes.
To do something to it.
Yes.
What is that?
Now that is a whole that's like a whole hour's teaching SEO. And I'm happy to do a little bit of a live on it inside the group. Why do you need a table in here? I'll do a little bit of a live on it and how to SEO a YouTube video as such, but SEO is endless. Okay, people pay thousands and thousands of dollars to specific SEO companies to do it. I do not recommend doing that at all. I don't think you need it. Yeah, definitely beyond the scope of today's call. Yeah, you can do little things, and I can show you how to do that. I'll pop a training video in, and just so that you can, it's in the description. You know, when you write a description, you've got to use specific words, and then you've got to put specific links and things like that. But we'll go into that in a separate training. Okay.
Okay, great. And my other question, just on the YouTube and Vimeo, do either of them offer some editing tools to a video? So if you wanted to like crop it or add soft music over it, if your meditation that you're uploading is just your voice, can you then overlay something? Like, do you have sort of those tools to do that, or do you have to do it on a separate thing and then the final product is what you upload to YouTube?
Yep, you do it on a separate thing. So you're going to be looking at a video editing software. For example, if you're on a Mac, I would be using something like iMovie, is quite easy to use. Or if you're on Microsoft, you would use something like Camtasia, which is a separate platform. Or you could outsource it. Okay, don't be scared to outsource these sorts of things. It is absolutely pointless in your business if you are spending 5 hours trying to figure out how to overlay music to your meditation video and putting a graphic on the front when someone else can do it in one. Okay, yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. Do not stress yourself out and waste your time, because then you're just going to get yourself into a tizwaz. I call it a tizwaz. And and you're going to end up hating the tech, right? And you're going to be like wanting to throw in the towel and be like, why am I even doing this business anyway? All this tech stuff does my head in. Absolutely hate it. If you're not that way inclined, do not do it to yourself. Okay, it is worth investing your money into somebody else who's going to be able to turn that over to you stress-free. All you have to do is send your pre-recorded video.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's all right. No problem. All right. And we'll move on to the next one. Okay. Best advice on the cheapest way on how to get paid by clients when I have them in person and online. Okay. PayPal, Square, and Stripe are the 3 most popular kind of payment platforms that people are using in online business. And it used to be that they all had different fees, but they've now all kind of gone to that competition level with each other, and they all have the exact same fees. Now, by fees, I mean merchant fees. Okay, it's free to set up an account, but when somebody pays you, you get charged a percentage fee. Okay, I think it's something like 2.9% off the top of my head, but it's changing all the time, so it's worth having a look. Now, one mistake that I made when first starting out in business is I didn't take that into account in my pricing. So I wanted to be paid X amount of dollars, and then everyone was paying me via Stripe, and I was paying 2.9%, which isn't a lot. But if, for example, I sold a $4,500 package, 2.9% is a considerable amount for a small business, right? Take that into consideration when pricing your packages. All right. So yeah, that's the baseline, 2.9%. In regards to your question, doing online and in person, I would say, you said you've got Acuity, Jess, yeah? Acuity booking system?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Okay, so would it be feasible for you to have people book in with you via that booking system and pay before their session?
Yes. I could just add my bank details and they transfer.
Yep, I would be going down that route, and I would be connecting your PayPal and your Stripe account to that. Because sometimes people freak out about PayPal. There's a lot of people out there that think PayPal is not a morally correct business. So if you're working with spiritual entrepreneurs, there is some people who go, I don't want to pay by PayPal. Do you have another option? So I always like to have two options on there. Okay. So like I said, they're both free accounts. And they both have the exact same processing fees. I mean, your other option is to go and buy a Square reader from Officeworks, and I think they're about $200. They were last time I checked, but that's just another thing you've got to carry around with you and keep charged and all that other stuff. I would say if someone is wanting to book a session with you, whether it's online or in person, they book and pay at the time of actually making their booking.
Okay, so the Square reader, do I get fees? Is that the little thing that people just tap their card on and it goes straight into bank?
Yes.
Is there merchant fees on that?
They've all got merchant fees. Yep.
Oh,
they're
okay,
all
so
the same. Square, Stripe, and PayPal. They all have merchant fees.
The only thing that doesn't have it is if they just go into their bank and transfer direct deposit.
Correct. But then you are left on the other end manually having to check your bank account to make sure they've paid, and then going to your invoicing system and ticking off that they've paid. And then if they don't pay you, like, you can't, like, short of, you know, driving to their house and going, hey, where's my payment?
I could, and you know.
You could. Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's not something that you want to be dealing with, right? It's business. You need to streamline your business and make it work for you. The tech is here to support you and work for you. Okay.
So just to clarify, the Square system and the Square reader, they're the same thing. One's just a physical thing that's linked to the Square online thing.
Correct.
And that's an invoicing system as well that syncs in with Acuity.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can, Stripe is an invoicing system and Square is an invoicing system, but Acuity is a booking system with payment capabilities. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I can share my screen with you and show you how all of that works in just a second. But I just want to make sure that, you know, there are those three different options. If I was you and the stage that you're at in your business, I would not worry about actually having hardware. I would go with Acuity linked to your payment processor.
Great. I didn't know Acuity would do that, so that's really good to know.
Yeah. So let me just show you.
Can I ask a question?
Of course you can.
How do PayPal make people pay?
What do you mean by that?
Well, as against them transferring the money into your account, and then you said you've got to chase them up. How do PayPal? How do you get around that with PayPal?
You pay. They can't access your service until they've paid. It's a pay before you buy.
But I do that with a bank transfer.
Okay, but then you're left manually. Yeah, but then you're left manually checking it. So what I'm trying to say to you is there's nothing wrong with that at all. It's just extra admin for you and extra stuff in your head, right? As your business grows, you need to get stuff out of here and into 3D so that when you sign off at the end of the day, you're not still going over stuff and you're trying to remember things and, you know, what have I got to do? Where is it? Get it out of here and simplify, because when
I've been not wanting
declutter,
to pay the price that PayPal charges you.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair enough. But like I said, take that into consideration with your pricing. It's only 2.9%. It's not huge. It's not like they're charging you hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and it's not an ongoing monthly fee or anything like that. You just go, okay, well, if I want to take home $65, you just go, what's 2.9% of $65? You add that into your pricing and then you round it up or whatever. And then you're covered.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. But there is nothing wrong with a bank transfer. I just don't recommend it. Like I said, the systems are here to work for you. Seeing I want to get bigger, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, so dipping in and out on connection here. Okay, Tash is just dipping in and out of reception. So do you want me to show you Acuity and how that works with the payments and things like that? Would that be helpful to you? Yeah? Okay, cool.
Only if that's something beneficial for, like, if I know it's there, because I am putting on my to-do list this week just to get my head around Acuity, and I watched the video that you shared with Maya. So yeah, if what's the tab under, and I could probably just explore it myself.
It's under payment integrations. Let me just triple check that. Payment integrations.
Because I did go to payment integrations to see what the other things were in there, but it didn't. I just assumed from that it meant I had to get in another program, not just Acuity would do it somehow.
No, you do. You need to have a Stripe account or you need to have a PayPal account. It's payment settings down the side.
Right. Okay. So I think I misunderstood before when you said Acuity can take payment.
Acuity can take payment through a third-party platform via a systems integration.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
So in order to get paid, you need PayPal, Stripe, or Square.
Got it.
Yeah.
And all of those, none of them have like a free enter in. They're all sort of a cost to start with. No,
they're all free to set up. But if somebody pays you, they will charge you 2.9% of that payment.
Okay, so that's all where the costs are.
Yeah. So it's not like, with Acuity, it's like $15 a month. It's not like that. Yeah, it's like if you make the money, they're just going to charge you a small percentage. That's how they keep their business open. That's their business model. Yeah. So do you want me to show you where all of that is? Would that be beneficial to everybody else, or we just do it?
I know where that is.
You know where that is? Yeah. It's under payment settings on the left-hand side of Acuity. Okay. So in summary, after all of that there's 3 different payment systems I recommend. I actually have 2. I've got PayPal and Stripe for the very reason that I work with spiritual entrepreneurs, and sometimes there's a bit of moral ground there with PayPal for reasons that I don't personally understand, but hey, that is okay. I don't need to understand that. It's what I'm offering to my clients. And what I do want to stress to you is get people to pay you in the simplest way possible. Chasing bank transfers and things, because it takes 2 to 3 days to show up in your account. Because we are a society now that we want things now, if someone comes to your site and they want to pay you, don't make it hard for them. That's the baseline. Okay, so you've just bought Acuity Scheduler, which you've said, and Mailchimp, and you haven't really used them. Okay, so I love Acuity. Okay, I actually have tried all of the schedulers because being a systems, I suppose, kind of expert on all of this stuff, I always test things within my own business before I'll ever recommend them to a client. I'm a bit nerdy like that. I'm like, oh, a new system, and I'll go and I'll try it out and I'll implement it in my own business. And if it's a massive flop or it feels clunky, it doesn't feel easy, I won't recommend it and I won't use it. So I have tried all of the different ones. I've tried Calendly, I've tried Dubsado's native scheduler, I've tried You Can Book Me, all of those sorts of things, and I've come back to Acuity because it's really affordable, it's really customer friendly, it's really client friendly, and you can make it really pretty and branded. Okay, you just need to know where to look. I know, Maya, that you were potentially not loving on Acuity, and that's absolutely fine. It's just a matter of knowing where to look and how to harness that tech. Okay, but that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to teach you how to do that. Mailchimp used to be the startup kind of go-to email marketing platform. They then restructured to compete with all of the other email marketing platforms like MailerLite, Aweber, ActiveCampaign, GetResponse, all of those sorts of things popping up, and they changed their whole structure and they took away a lot of their free stuff that made it so good for startups, and they're now asking you to pay for it, which is absolutely fine if it wasn't such a clunky system to use. Okay. In saying that, lots of startups still use Mailchimp, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not as easy to use. It's not as intuitive to use as something like, for example, ActiveCampaign. Okay. ActiveCampaign is, I think, it goes on the number of contacts, but I think it starts at like 19 Australian dollars a month, which is really affordable. And Mailchimp does have a free version, right? The restriction on the free version is this: you need an opt-in in order to grow your email list, right? We all know what opt-ins are. Has Tash gone through all of that? Yep. So you need an opt-in to grow your email list. The free version of Mailchimp will allow you to send one automated email on the free version. And that's not going to get your people to where you need them to be, because your opt-in is like your first date. It's when you're starting your relationship with these people. One email is not going to cut it. That's like a eat and run kind of date. All right. We're wanting to nurture the relationship. So you're looking at creating and nurturing email sequence following your opt-in, which means you've got to pay for the platform. All right. Now, I'm not saying go and get rid of your Mailchimps at all. I'm just saying that there are more intuitive, easier to use systems like ActiveCampaign out there. Okay. What else did you say?
So just on that now, because I've only just bought it like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Okay, so you moved on to the paid account?
I did.
Yep.
I probably should have experimented without the paid account, but I just kind of had to get all the things done, and I don't even have an opt-in, so I don't really know why.
No shoulds.
Anyway.
Yeah.
What was that? Sorry?
No shoulds, just things that have happened.
Yeah. So if I, after a year, want to transition out, is there anything I should know now, as in, do they keep all your contacts kind of very hard to copy over? Like, should I just keep this Excel
it's so easy.
while I go?
No, it's so easy. You just literally go export contacts. They export it, and then you just, on your new system, like for example, ActiveCampaign, you just go import contacts. And that comes across with all of your contact information, your tags, your, all these things. The only thing it won't import across is your email automation. So if you're still using the email automations, you will have to rebuild them in your new platform. Okay. So in saying that, no, you do not need to keep a separate copy of all your lists, because that would just be so time consuming. Because let's picture that in 2 weeks time, 2 months time, you're getting 3 to 4 signups a day on your opt-in. Okay. That's just going to be admin overload. You do not need to do that. What I will say is, when you are writing your email sequences, keep a document, a Word document of those inside of Google Drive or somewhere like that, so that if you do need to rebuild them, you can just easily go send it to your VA, or if you don't have a VA at that stage, upload yourself and just go copy, paste, format, you're done.
I didn't really like how, when I was entering the contacts, didn't really give much opportunity to add information in there if you don't have their full address. Like, I couldn't put Australia or USA or Canberra or something unless I had their full street address. Yeah. So that was a bit strange.
Yeah, Mailchimp, like I said, is clunky. It's, not my favorite. Not my favorite when you have to pay for it. If you didn't have to pay for it and they were still offering you those, those 3 emails on the free account, then I would absolutely say startups stick with Mailchimp. But now that you're having to pay with it, I'm like, no, startups start with ActiveCampaign.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's not as easy to use as it used to be.
ActiveCampaign?
No, Mailchimp.
Mailchimp. They've just changed their whole user interface.
They keep changing it.
Yeah, and this is what tech companies kind of do. Sometimes they're run by men mostly. Like, I'm not a male hater, don't get me wrong, but they're run by men who are very like tech minded, and they're just like, oh, let's just change the interface and everyone else will be able to figure it out. If you're not that way inclined, then it's a bit like, what the hell? Like, I had a client ring me the other day. She's like, oh my God, all my contacts have gone in Mailchimp. What am I going to do? And I'm like, whoa, what do you mean? And I logged in and they changed the interface. And I was like, oh, no, it's okay. Let me figure out what they've done. And I was like, here they are. This is where you've got to look now. But they don't tell you any of that, right? So the first thing is, do not panic. Because these companies build their reputation on keeping your email contacts organized and safe, right? So even if you think they're gone, they're 99% likely not gone, unless you press delete, in which case, why the hell did you do that? Then it's time to break out the vodka, okay? But look, there's always a way. Hortensia, I have a platform in Kajabi that I never use. Oh, thank God you're moving away from Kajabi. Okay. Kajabi, again, not my favorite. New website in Wix. More control.
Favorite?
What was that, Hortensia?
You say it's not your favorite, Kajabi?
No, Kajabi is not my favorite, and I'll tell you why in a sec.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm really sorry, guys. I upgraded my YouTube account, my Zoom account. But there was some sort of technical error. Even us tech people get tech errors. And it's now saying that the meeting will end in 10 minutes. Let me just see if it'll let me do it now. Please hold.
Okay.
Let me see if it'll let me do it. Come on, that's what I want to do.
I love the video, Jess. You did a great job.
Oh, thank you.
Who did that for you?
Local guy. Yeah, I just found him on a Google search. So, yeah, he was really good.
And how long was he with you?
He came for 2.5 days.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, we are back in the game, ladies.
Thank you.
And Luke, for when you join us back in the replay. Okay, yes, Kajabi. Kajabi is an all-in-one platform. It totes itself as an all-in-one platform. From a user perspective, again, it was super clunky and it couldn't do what it should have been able to do for the price that it was charging people. Okay, so there's a lot of companies out there that will charge you big money and say, oh, I'm an all-in-one platform, it's going to be so easy for you to use, move all your stuff over, and then you do, and it's like, this is like a nightmare.
Totally.
Yeah, so I just had a client that I moved her whole site off Kajabi and onto WordPress, and then we set her up with ActiveCampaign. She's always used Acuity, and that was pretty much all she needed, right?
Yeah.
So you're moving to Wix. Okay.
I'm moving to Wix because the person who is helping me to migrate my stuff out of there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we've lost you. Come back.
And she's making a Wix.
Okay. That's fine. If that's your chosen platform, that's absolutely okay. Why will it create a problem when people search for you on your old website? Are you changing your domain name?
Yeah, because I have both at the same time, not to lose. I have what is that? A membership site created, ready to go, but I have Tash tell me, don't do anything with it. I want you to say high-end tickets, so I'm not using it.
Okay.
But it's ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's sitting there, but
yeah. So the only thing that, what you can do is, it's not going to be a problem at all. What you need to do is to get your website person to redirect your old domain name to the new domain name. So when someone types in, for example, let's say my old business name was Impasha. If someone types in impasha.com.au, now they get redirected to tarynreeves.com.
Okay. Yeah.
So get them
I had that org, now it's .com. Yeah.
Okay. So just get them to run the redirect, and don't run the redirect forever. When that domain name comes up for renewal, do not pay again, because by that stage, so leave it running for 6 months, a year, however it is, but don't then go and renew the old domain name that you're not actually using. Just let it expire. Okay, it's money you don't need to spend.
Yeah, and for today, I'm being banned from Facebook to post in any group. I cannot even post in the BAM. I paid, how much for that, and I cannot post anything.
Why?
I don't know what, but I have a problem with a virtual assistant that.
We've lost you again.
On the time, so I dispute, and she told me, "You're a scammer. I'm gonna make you blog in Facebook," and I think that's what's happening.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's no good.
I mean, because of haters, maybe they create something, a story about me when I don't post much.
I think, is it a 2-week ban? If they banned you for 2 weeks?
One week.
Oh, well, that's okay. Don't worry about that. Just block the person that you think it might be.
Yeah.
And then just leave it. There's not too much you can do about that at this stage, unfortunately.
So I have to go attack Messenger for now on.
Yeah.
I cannot go anywhere. And
At
I'm
least
launching
only 1
my
week,
book
right?
yesterday. It's launching. Only 1 week.
Only 1 week. At least it's not 2. Worse things have happened. It's like everything will be okay.
Yes.
All right. Beautiful.
Oh, okay. So it's a way to move out of Facebook. What do you think about Mighty Networks?
Look, Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and all of those really popular social media platforms are still the giants in the industry.
Okay.
In saying that, I have seen a lot of issues, especially since COVID has hit, with Facebook like absolutely losing the plot, because I run Facebook ads for my clients, because I've got a whole creative marketing agency as well. We build websites, we do Facebook ads, we do social media, all of that sort of stuff for spiritual entrepreneurs, and Facebook has legit lost the plot. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like, weird stuff is happening. You'll try and post in a group and they're like, oh, this goes against community guidelines. And you're like, it's an inspirational quote. Like, it's not, you know what I mean? Like, and then ad images. Like, I have one of my clients is a relationship coach, and we were trying to write an ad for her, and we had a picture of people holding hands, and Facebook banned it because they were like, they wouldn't approve the ad because like, oh no, it's sexual connotation. So I know Luke and Sindra, you guys are not on the call, but you guys have a relationship thing. So you might run into big problems trying to run Facebook ads and things like that with Facebook losing the plot. So look, in answer to your question, Hortensia, I have been thinking about this for like 2 months now. I've been sitting on, what if Facebook is no longer the place for online businesses? I've been sitting with that, and I am sorry to say that I'm yet to find a different solution.
Okay.
What I can say is that I have noticed that people are now wanting authentic connections with other people.
Yeah.
They're not wanting, they're moving away from social media. They're switching off their phones, which is, there's this beautiful big awakening, which on one hand is amazing. I'm so happy about it. But for online business, it's not best.
Okay.
I would say start utilizing, keep on your socials, keep visible, because people are still on there. Okay. And it gives you credibility. Even if you aren't giving like 50, getting 50 likes a day and stuff, those are vanity metrics. Do not worry about those, because you don't know who is sitting on the other side of that screen, noticing you, but just not pressing like. And then all of a sudden they book a call with you via your website. You don't know. So stay visible. What I will say is start utilizing your network of other entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Collaboration.
Good.
Relationship marketing.
Yeah, that's the key.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you have a
you're breaking up, my love. I can't hear you. Oh wait, you're back.
Oh, you have a specific suggestion or idea where it can guide me for collaboration?
So, even people inside masterminds, say if you've got a new program out, say, hey, you guys, I've got this affiliate link for my new program. Would any of you be interested? Because what you'll find is a lot of people who are in your business network have a similar target audience to you, but might offer something different.
Okay.
What I want to strongly point out here is that we as women in business, we are not in competition with each other, even if we offer the exact same thing. Like Tasha's a business coach, I'm a business coach, but I'm teaching in her mastermind. This is collaboration.
Yeah.
Right? We are not in competition. We are here to lift each other up and support each other wherever possible, because when we do that, magic happens.
Yeah, it's the only way, I think. It's the only way out. Yeah. I do not think that it's wise to go and start signing up for all of these other social things like Mighty Networks and what's the new one on the block? We, things like that, all popping up. TikTok. Don't
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't go signing.
Okay.
You don't need to be on all of the things.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Be
Yeah.
very intentional about where you are spending your time, because your time is something that you are not ever going to get back.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly. Okay. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Yes.
Okay. What other questions do we have? Okay. So the best way to receive credit card payments and debits for those wanting to pay off your NLP course, Jess. So far you've had them on the direct bank debit. How are you offering that course? Is it in person? Yeah, and in person. Again, I would suggest funneling them through your Acuity. Book and pay for the course. You can have a payment plan, click here, or you can have a pay in full, click here.
So if I use Stripe through Acuity, is that enables them to put in their credit card details and get debited from a credit card?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, good.
Absolutely. Your other option is I'll tell you what an affiliate link is in a sec. The other option is when you are intaking people, do they apply for your course? Do they like fill out a form?
Yeah, so they've got an enrollment form, and the last one that I've just been emailing out this last week, I just took off the credit card details because I was like, oh, I don't even really want, like, because the last training I did, people just deposited in my bank account and it was easy.
Yeah.
But I know I will eventually get someone that wants to do credit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I would be collecting, if you don't want to use Acuity, I would say click in the enrollment form, have a section that says credit card details. So for example, if someone signs on for one of my virtual assistance packages with the team, on that proposal, it outlines exactly what's included in what they're purchasing. And then at the bottom, it says, I authorize you to direct debit my card, and here's the card details.
Yeah.
Which then I manually put into Stripe, and I set up a payment subscription on there if you don't use Acuity, which does it for you.
And then is that the same fees? So
same
Stripe,
fees, 2.9% across the board. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not a monthly thing. They just charge you as the money that comes out of their card. It's not any extra. It's just percentage of what they're paying.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So they might, it might be $500. The payment's $500.
Yeah.
You don't see $500. $500 comes out of their account. You don't see $500 get deposited into your account. You only see $475. Or whatever it is, percentage-wise. I am not a mathematician by any stretch of imagination.
Okay, no, that's fine. And it doesn't have to go through another middle thing. It just e-wallet or anything. It just goes straight into
just go straight into your bank account, and it will say Stripe and it will say credit, and it'll have your payment there.
Got it.
Yeah. Bye, Hortensia. Lovely to meet you when you have to leave. Ask me any questions. I'm hanging around, and come be friends with me on social. My dog just walked in. Apologies. I'm very professional. Can you tell?
I just wanted to ask you about 17 hats.
Yes. Okay. 17 hats. I did respond to that on the Facebook, but that's totally fine, Maya. 17 hats is if you've already purchased it, if you're already using it.
Well, it's ready to be renewed. So do I let it go?
Look,
or do I pursue?
I use Trello personally, and when I finish answering everyone's specific questions, I've got some amazing templates that will show you how to utilize workflows, that will show you how to organize your social, that will show you how to, keep all of your business stuff in one place, all of that sort of things. That's what 17 Hats does as well. So, I mean, it's totally up to you. It's a choice. It's an absolute choice, but 17 Hats is good. You need to have some sort of system, whether that's Trello or 17 Hats or Dubsado or any of those things, that get it out of here and into here. Because this is also what I really want to stress to you guys is, even though you're on your own now, how many of you have VAs? Right, so you're on your own right now. That will not always be so. Okay. And you don't want to be having to go back and rebuild your foundations again and again and again every time your business grows. It is a waste of your precious time. And even though it seems annoying now and you're like, what am I even doing this for? I just work on my own. Why am I writing a workflow about how to onboard a client to my course? The reason being is because you're thinking long term. You're not here to play small. You're here to get shit done, right? So it's like, I'm writing this workflow so that when my new VA onboards, I can go, here are the workflows. Here is exactly how it's done. And when I say workflow, I'll walk you through this later. It is literally so simple that your husband can come and pick it up, not knowing anything about your business, and be able to run your business while, for example, you're in hospital or you're having a holiday. You've gone on retreat with the girls, and you're like, babe, I just need you to do. If you find a husband that does that, by the way, please send them my way. But you know what I mean? Like, you need to be supported in your business. You don't want to be building something on sand that is going to erode away. Build your solid foundations at the start, because then you're going to be able to reign over your queendom at the very end. And that's the main aim. Okay. I run a 6-figure business. I work 3 days a week. Okay. And I have a team of 7 and I have clients all over the world. That is not a boast, but that is showing you the power of systems in place. Now, I did not do what I'm telling you to do, and that is why I'm telling you to do it. I rebuilt my business 4 times. I rebranded 3 times until I found my feet, and I had to spend hours and hours, and I've got a 4-year-old, hours and hours and hours, like late nights on, you know, rewriting stuff, getting it out of my head, going, you know, because when I had these team members coming on, it was just like, well, how do I even teach these people how to do and treat my clients that gold star standard red carpet experience that sets me apart from everybody else? Okay, do it at the beginning.
That's what's happened to me. I had no foundations, and so I just, the whole thing's just grown like Topsy, and there's nothing supporting it.
But do you know what? That's a learning curve. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
What did you learn? Like, think about it that way. But now you know, let's not do that again. Let's not keep doing that like I did. Like, keep doing that, and you build it tall, and it gets tall enough, and you hit your glass ceiling, you hit your limiting beliefs, and it all falls over. You know, and then, you know, that little voice will pop in and go, you know, nobody can possibly love my business as much as I do. Nobody's good enough to do all the little things in my business. Nobody can possibly do it. This can't run without me. Not true. Not true. Okay, you will at some point have to start to learn to hand over some stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
So hold your 17 hats decision until I show you Trello.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Jess, an affiliate link is a nice little way for entrepreneurs to make money by recommending systems to other people, but it does, of course, depend on your business model. So for a business like mine, virtual assistants or something, ActiveCampaign, for example, will give me a 25% commission for every person who signs on using my affiliate link. Okay. Now, it's not a lot of money, but it's residual income, right? I'm recommending these systems to my clients anyway because I use them and I love them. And ActiveCampaign is going, because you're a loyal customer and we love you, here's a reward for being an awesome person and helping us grow our business. Okay. There are people out there called affiliate marketers who make all of their money by just recommending all of the programs under the sun and have never actually used them or implemented them themselves or built a business using those systems as such. So just be wary of, but like, for example, you know, if you have a friend in business who said, oh, Jess, you know, what booking system am I going to use? Like, your girlfriend wants to start her own business. And you go, well, I use Acuity and I actually really love it now. Here's my affiliate link. And for every month that she stays signed on, like in her business, paying for Acuity, you get, I think it's 10 Australian dollars a month from Acuity to say thank you, right? It's not a lot, but it's nice to have.
Yeah, I think that's what happened with Acuity, actually, one of my other friends. And actually, I'm just going through my emails. I'm not sure I have bought Mailchimp. I know I bought Acuity, but I'm trying to find whether or not I'm still on the free thing. So if I'm not, then I think I'll do ActiveCampaign from what you said.
Yeah.
So
well, I do have, I will. I'll pop all affiliate links and things in there. Now, I want you to know that I don't use my affiliate links. I'm not affiliated with a company that I do not personally use myself in my own business, okay? Because that's not how I roll, okay?
Yeah.
So that's what an affiliate link is. Now, let's see what other little bits and pieces I can answer.
Can I just ask one more, probably pesky question? Sorry.
Just
going back with the getting paid thing. So say I do Stripe, and then when I have in-person clients, I have a product that I want to sell, and so while they're there seeing me, they're like, oh, I really like to buy that crystal, and so I thought, okay, it's probably good to invest in a Square reader. Will I have to start again and hook up Square to get the Square reader, or can I do the Square reader? No,
it integrates with your automatic, like whatever account you've got on Square, you never have to change it. You just add in the Square reader.
Awesome. So that can come later if I want to.
Yeah, absolutely. Your other option is to manually type in the payment inside the back end of Stripe.
Oh, on my phone, I can do that while they're there, are they?
Yeah, but I mean, that's not great.
Okay. I think people prefer just to
tap. Yeah. What I will say to you is Square does not integrate with Acuity. So you would just hook up PayPal to your Acuity and you would have Square to take the tap payments.
Well, from what you've said, I probably would do Stripe up and then Square later if I wanted to sell a product.
Well, look, the good thing that means you would have 3 payment processing systems in your business. The good news about that is they all have the same fees regardless of, which one you're being paid for. So you can use PayPal and Stripe for your Acuity bookings and then Square for your physical products.
Yep, cool.
That's not a big deal at all. And like you're not being charged monthly, and just use the same login for all of them so that you remember what they are.
Perfect. And just pre-warning, I'm using my phone as hotspot and I'm on 17%. So if I suddenly cut out,
that's okay.
I'll need to go and run and get a charger.
All good. I will still be here for another hour or so.
Cool.
Right. Now,
I started my business a long time ago, like 20 plus years.
What is your business, Maya?
Healing Steps.
Healing Steps. Okay. What is that about? Share with me.
What is it about? Well, it's morphed. So when I first started, I was doing massage, bone therapy, Reiki, and then it sort of morphed to counselling, theta healing, which is what I do now. But clients would pay me either in cash or give me a check.
Okay.
And so now what's happening? So I resisted by paying for a credit card thingy, which has been really good. And now people are just paying me while they sit there over their phone. I just smile to myself at how much things have changed. And they just direct deposit it into my account and then sort of, turn the phone around and show me. So
unless you're a client like me, in which case I don't even have my internet banking on my phone, and I'll be like,
or then they pay cash, which is
and I never carry cash. But it's so
I tell them beforehand. It's either direct deposit
or cash,
which they can do before they come, or cash.
Yeah.
And then I had one person come and do a course with me, and she paid me with a check, and I'm like, what is this?
Retro.
People use it. And now I've got to go to the bank and put it in. But
no, well, that's good. As long as you're getting paid and it's easy for you. Do not think that you have to have all of the systems. If you are comfortable and you are happy with whatever system you are using, do not get distracted by shiny object syndrome or what everybody else is doing. You do you and what works for you.
So if you send out an invoice with a direct deposit or a PayPal link, is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, there's no right or wrong. That's what I'm trying to say here. There is no right or wrong, but I do want you to make it easy for yourself because, like I said, even though you're on your own now, you're not here to play small, You're here to impact, and you're here to make change and make this world a better place. Okay? Through whatever it is that is your gift. So make it easy on yourself and make it easy on your clients. But in here, use that intuition. Us women have amazing intuition. If you're going, oh, it feels clunky, something feels off, that's not the system for you. No matter how good their marketing is, no matter if, Marie Forleo or Brene Brown or Gabby Bernstein, whoever the hell it is that is using that system, doesn't matter. It's not your system. And that's okay.
Because they've got you know, 7 VAs to sort it for them.
Exactly. But I also do want to, again, stress, get out of here, because we can become workaholics. I am a workaholic. I have very poor boundaries sometimes around my business. And even after I sign off for the day, I'm still thinking about it. I'm still going, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? And my team go, Taryn, get your fingers out of it. I'm like, I just want, no, like, you know, but it's really hard to do. But if you get it all out of here, then it's much, much easier. And you can go, I can just pick up where I left off tomorrow with the systems that I'm going to show you. Okay.
Yeah. And I've got a new website under construction, so
Amazing.
it all needs to be put into place now.
Yeah,
before
yeah.
it's launched.
And one step in front of the other.
Myself organised.
Built in a day.
Yeah.
And when you think you've got it just right, you will evolve as a person. Your business will evolve, and then you'll want to change it all again. That's just the nature of business, right? But you wouldn't be an entrepreneur if you didn't like change. If you didn't have courage, if you weren't brave, because it takes balls to even start your own business.
Just when they keep changing all the tech stuff. Just when you got it sorted and you're ready to learn the next thing, you have to go back and relearn it because they've changed it all.
Yeah. All good. Never fear. You know where to find me. Okay, so okay, we've already talked about how you offer your course, Jess, so that's been taken care of. You've just manually typed in all your contacts into Mailchimp. We've already had this discussion. Super easy to export should you want to do it somewhere else. And you've also asked, does Mailchimp, or I'm going to insert here, any other platform, have an option to say Facebook group contacts as a separate list of people who haven't actually opted into a newsletter via your website? The answer to that is, I wouldn't go creating 700 different lists for all of the different things. Use something called tagging. Now, tagging is available inside all of the email marketing platforms. And basically what it is, it's like a little sticky note that gets stuck to your client's details and says, for example, this person has the sticky notes newsletter, organization queen masterclass, and 10-hour VA package. Right? I'm using my business as an example. So I can then go, I only want to send an email to the people who have the tag, the sticky note, organization queen masterclass. I can set it to do that. And I can search my contacts by that. Right? And I also have tag newsletter, right? So people who've specifically opted into newsletter, who have agreed to receive email marketing from me, I can just go, all of my newsletter campaigns, the trigger for that is send to tag newsletter. Okay, so rather than having all of these different lists and different places, the one list with the tags. Okay.
Is that like a hashtag at all, or just anything you tag, you can search it and then it will come up?
Show you. Super easy. Do you guys use LastPass at all, out of interest?
I have no idea what that is.
LastPass is free, and it helps you store all of your passwords to all of your things securely, so that when you want to go and do something, like, for example, launch my ActiveCampaign account, I just come into my LastPass account and I go launch, and it's automatically put in my passwords for me, and I go log in, 100% secure, and I'm now logged in, and I didn't have to remember anything. I didn't have to type anything.
Doesn't it come up, do you want Google Chrome to remember this password for you?
Yes, I would not be using Google Chrome, because if somebody steals your laptop, they can log into any of your stuff. Not so with LastPass. Okay. Now, showing you tagging. If you come into my contacts list here, this is what ActiveCampaign looks like. They all look slightly different, but it's the same principle. Okay. I don't need that anymore. Let's just use this lovely lady, for example. See here, tags. So this particular lady has downloaded my free guide, Intention Setting with the Moon, and she's also opted in for my newsletter. Okay.
So you've written those in manually every time?
No, they are auto set when someone signs up for either of those things.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Okay, so yeah, and then I can, and she's just on the one list. I just have the one list, my main list. Okay, so then I can go send campaign to everyone who has the tag newsletter. So I can send out my fortnightly newsletter, and everybody with that has agreed to receive it. Everybody's cool. Yeah. So I'm not going to log out of that just yet, just in case. Just in case. Okay. You haven't got an Instagram account yet. Would you recommend creating one that's linked to your Facebook business page or personal page, or just starting from scratch on Insta? Facebook now owns Instagram. Okay, Facebook has purchased Instagram. So they are now run by the same people. I would set up I would set up a business page or a creator page. A creator page on Instagram has better analytics and does the same stuff, right? As a business page. And you can link it to your Facebook via that. It's in the setup. It says, do you want to link it? And you can just go yes. And then you just log in with your passwords. Super simple, just follow the prompts.
Okay, a creator page over a business page.
Yeah, you know, when it goes, well, what is your, you know, what kind of a page is this? And you're a public figure, or you're a business, or you want to create a profile. Now, a business page will still give you analytics, but when Facebook bought Instagram, they introduced the creator profile, which gives you, you know, on Facebook business page analytics, when you open it up and it tells you, you know, which countries your people are from, what age they are, what gender they are, that kind of thing. Instagram, okay, well, that's what it does. And it tells you the best time to post. Instagram business profiles don't offer you that. They just have like a really generic graph that basically tells you F all and is pretty much worthless looking at. A creator one will give you the same kind of analytics as Facebook. Okay.
And what is the advantage from linking my Facebook Resolve and Evolve page to whatever I create in like my Resolve and Evolve Instagram page?
The only benefit thus far, in my opinion, is that when you post a story to Instagram, it posts the same story on your Facebook page. Okay.
So I on Instagram, there's no point. I don't really want to do it for any social reasons, just a business thing. So don't do Jess Cardigan on Instagram. Just go straight for the Resolve and Evolve and link it to the Resolve.
Oh yeah, like, you know, personal Instagram accounts versus business Instagram accounts. Some people like to keep their business and their personal life separate. So for example, like if you go on my business page, my Instagram, you won't see photos often. I'm changing that now, but you know, of my daughter and me on the weekend or something like that. But what I am finding is that, like I said before, people are wanting more authentic people. They want to know who they're working with, right? Who are you? You're not just Resolve and Evolve the business. Who is Jess, and why should I want to work with you over the thousands of other NLP practitioners out there, right? That's what it comes down to. People do business with people. They do business with people who they resonate with, who they see as somebody who can be solving their problem, but they also hate to be marketed to. People hate to be sold to. They want to go, I have a problem. Are you my person? And not just in a business sense. Do you have the same morals as me? Do you like the same stuff as me? Does the tone of your voice annoy me? Like all of those things. But it's true. Like you wouldn't have a business coach whose voice annoyed the hell out of you, because you would just be sitting there the whole call going, oh my God, I can't even cope, right?
So to be clear, because I'm a bit confused now,
That's okay.
You're saying on Instagram, I should be Jess Cardigan.
No, if your business name is Resolve and Evolve,
yep,
that's your set up a business account or a creator account on Instagram.
Okay, but have me in it, obviously. Like
yeah.
pictures of me.
Yeah.
But it's called Resolve and Evolve, and
yes.
it's linked not to my personal Jess Cardigan Facebook profile, but
linked
it's
to your
also,
business
it's linked
page.
to my Resolve and Evolve.
Correct.
And so to find out who I am on Facebook, like my personal one, they'd have to do a lot of digging to find that.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like what I'm saying to you is some people like to keep business and personal very separate, and they have 2 Instagram accounts. One is Taryn Reeves,
okay,
and the other one is Taryn Reeves Business.
yeah.
And I only post business stuff on Taryn Reeves, and then on my other Instagram account, it's me being wild on the weekend doing, you know, hugging trees and whatever it is that I do on my spare time, which is totally what I do, by the way. So yeah, like, do you know what I'm saying? But for me now, like, I don't use my personal Instagram account anymore. I just use the one business account because of my strong belief, and this is just my strong belief, that people are wanting to do business with other people. Who is the face behind the name, and why should I care?
When I create an Instagram account, a business, oh, sorry, you're saying a creator page.
Yep.
Okay. And it's called Resolve and Evolve. Does it have the option of having my name underneath? Like Resolve and Evolve with Jess Carnigan or something?
Yeah, you can write whatever you want. I mean, you've only got like 60 characters or 45 characters or something really annoying. But, you know, you can have that little, you know, Jess Carnigan star emoji.
Yeah.
You know, NLP practitioner for new mothers. I don't know. I'm just, you know, whatever your kind of like elevator pitch is, that's kind of where it goes. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Makes sense? You're very welcome.
Yes. And while I've got you, I noticed your email address when you did an online video. I think it was for Maya. No, it was for me actually. You went in to show how you upload something to YouTube, and it was through Google, which I haven't really explored much, so I should do that. And your email address is taryn@tarynreeves.com. Does Google give you that email address?
No, you have to go and set it up through your domain hosting provider.
Got it. Because at the moment, my email address is just jesscarnigan@outlook.com. So I'm just wondering whether or not that's just another thing to do, or if that's, in your opinion, essential.
In my opinion, it is kind of essential because it's professional, you know.
And if I ever change from GoDaddy, who's my domain, is it a headache to then get that same thing with?
No, you know, the domain host, GoDaddy, again, not my favorite. Their customer support isn't the best, but it's not terrible. You know, just hop on the chat with them and go, hey, I want to set up a custom email address for my resolveandevolve.com. Can you please help me? And they'll do it for you.
And who would you go if I had my time again to do a website?
My favorite is the host. So you're built on a GoDaddy website.
Yeah, I did it myself through GoDaddy. Yeah.
Right. So I am a massive WordPress fan. Personally, I build on WordPress, and I have my domain and hosting through SiteGround, because SiteGround has the most unreal customer service I've ever experienced from a tech company thus far.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay. So does that answer your questions?
Yes, thank you.
Yep. Beautiful. Okay. Okay. Now, here we go down a rabbit hole. How do I get a string of emails set up that are content that start from the beginning with a new subscriber? That is called an opt-in email sequence, and it can only be set up with the paid version of Mailchimp. Remember how we were talking before? Or it can be set up through ActiveCampaign. Whatever your email provider is, there will be that option. Okay. This is, again, way beyond the scope of this call, because I could do a full hour-and-a-half teaching on opt-ins. What I will send you and post in the group is I have an opt-in checklist that I've created that will tell you all of the little steps that need to happen to make sure your opt-in goes off without a hitch. And I will also give you the link to the swipe file, so the email templates that I actually use when writing my own opt-in email sequences. And you can plug and play. Just edit out what you need, because they're very effective, and it'll just give you a really good guide, okay, on how to do that. So I will pop that in there. I'm sure Tash won't mind if I do a cheeky little pitch to you guys. I have a course. It's called Online Business Building for Spiritual Women in Business. Okay. It basically, all of the little tech videos that I've given you guys, it's like a vault It has master classes in it. It has like an Acuity module, an ActiveCampaign module, a Wix module, like whatever it is. And you can go in there and go, well, how the hell do I set my availability in Acuity? How do I set up my Stripe account? And you can go and look for that specific thing. And there will be me sitting there sharing my screen with you, showing you, click here, type this, do that, and you're set. You're done. Okay. So if you are interested in that, let me know, because it just takes a headache out of the Google searching and the what ifs and how do I do's and all that sort of stuff. Plus it has all of those swipe files and templates and checklists. Anything that I create for my clients goes in there. I just give it to you guys, because every woman should be able to run, every person, not just women, should be able to run their own soul business. Okay. Anyway, that's by the by. Sorry, Tash. That's, yeah, opt-ins. There's a whole training on opt-ins in there. Right. Okay, and as to for how to share your example, if someone signs up on your website for an opt-in that you've created, you would obviously set the automated email sequence and link it and tag it and all of those sorts of stuff, again, beyond the scope of this call. But let's say it's a meditation. Mailchimp does not save that meditation. You would need to upload it to YouTube or Vimeo if that's your choice. Don't go adding in another thing like Dropbox. You don't need it. Use Vimeo or YouTube. Simplify. You don't need all of the stuff. Upload it to YouTube as unlisted if you only want it to be available to people who have signed up. Then, you know, do it that way. Make sense? Yep, cool. I've also got a whole blog on opt-ins as well that I'll send you that literally walks you through the process and why you need one, what you need to do, how to set it up, all of the stuff. Okay. Can you create a private YouTube channel to save your guided meditations or videos that people can get the link to only if you send it? Again, just do it as unlisted.
Yeah,
okay.
you've answered that.
Yeah, answered that. Or, I mean, if you do choose to go down Vimeo, you can do private on Vimeo. Okay, but start up YouTube. Okay, you don't need all of the systems. Facebook ads. Okay, Facebook ads are mega tricky to get right, and they're a nightmare to navigate even for us tech people. Okay, especially since Facebook has seemingly lost the plot and is now just doing weird shit with their Facebook ads. Sorry, I do swear. I apologize if that annoys anybody.
I have heard much worse.
I know, but you know, it's not professional. I would outsource your Facebook ads, if I'm completely honest, because it's not enough to just botch together a Facebook ad and press play and hope for the best. You need to be really intentional and make your money back. Okay, you're looking for a cost per conversion for any, you know, depending on what it is. If it's a freebie, you're wanting like $1 cost per conversion. If it's $6 per conversion, something is seriously wrong, and you're throwing your money down the drain because you're not making your money back on that. Does that make sense? Yeah, outsource it. Yeah, don't even try and do it. Just, I know that like that's really unusual for me to say don't try and do it yourself, but just outsource it because it's just a headache.
I'm waiting for the videographer to get back to me. He said by the end of this week with 6 really short 20 to 30 second videos.
Awesome. Yep.
So I put my 4-minute video on the group last night just to show everyone what
it was really good
do on YouTube. Oh,
yeah.
Cool, thanks. And so yeah, he's just going to get to me with some shorter ones that I can use as
that you can use as an ad. Yeah. Yeah, like
that's something you could do, let's say. Like
so if I run Facebook ads for my clients, here's how we do it. I say to them, okay, let's have the copy. And I give them like a template again to work from, because we don't just want random words on a page. It needs to be intentional. Then we run that ad. I ask specifically, who is this for? Who is your ideal soul client that you would like to press play? Like, give me that right now, kind of thing. Then I go, okay, let's source 5 different images to go with that copy. And I run that same copy with 5 different images for 2 days. What I then do is I go and I have a look and I go, oh, that image is really not hitting home with people. And I turn that particular one off because I don't want to be throwing the money down the drain. And then I narrow it down to you know, sometimes there's one really clear winner, in which case I turn all 4 other ones off and I just use that one and I just tweak. Every 2 days I go and then I tweak the audience to make it better, drive that cost per conversion down. Okay. Or there might be, you know, 3 that are kind of hitting home, 3 images that are kind of hitting home with different people, and they're all, you know, a couple of cents or $1 off each other per conversion, in which case I would leave them all running. Because the thing is, we cannot predict behavior. Okay. It depends on our mood. Like one day I might see an image of a really, you know, like earth goddess warrior woman, you know, and I go, oh my God, I love that. And then the next day I might be, you know, in a really bad mood or something, and I just go, oh, whatever, you know, and I just scroll. You don't know what is going to hit, but then I might see something of, you know, a woman sitting peacefully by a lake, and I go, yeah, okay, that, you know, and that stops my scroll. You never know. It's all about testing, fishing, tweaking, converting. Otherwise, it's pointless.
Do you do that even if it's a video as part of
Yes.
the ad?
Yeah.
You have an image as well. It's
No. It's a video. Then we can do a video, or in your case, what we would do is we would use the video snippet and a still image to test and go, does the video snippet actually convert, or is it just a still image that's converting?
Right. Okay.
And because you said you've got 3 or 4 different snippets of your video, we would test all of those snippets, right? Because you don't know which one is going to resonate with your ideal client the most. It's about testing and finding out. Like, even though we're really good at intuition, we do not have crystal balls, unfortunately. That would be awesome. Sign me up. Okay. So yeah, look, and there are companies out there, I'm not saying use me for your Facebook ads. There are companies out there, but there are companies that charge thousands and thousands of dollars for Facebook ads. You're not at that stage in startup. Please do not go and let someone sign you on to, you know, it's $1,000 a month and for 5 Facebook ads. And no, you're not at that stage. That's like a Marie Forleo, I don't care where my money's going kind of deal. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. The more you're delving into the world of systems, the more frustrating it is, and more, you know, all the separate things you have to upgrade to or buy. What are the essentials and how do you simplify? So these are my favorite startup low-cost combo. Okay. And I will post this in the group. Booking system, Acuity. Email system, ActiveCampaign. Project management and workflows, Trello. Videos, YouTube. Courses and freebies, MemberVault. Websites, WordPress. Website hosting, domains and custom emails, SiteGround. Graphics, Canva. Signatures, HelloSign. Payments, Stripe or PayPal. Creator Studio for Facebook and Insta, and Risely for LinkedIn for your social media scheduling. I will post all of that in there. Those are the base essential systems that I believe every startup business needs. Okay, so there are a lot, but what I want you to do is I want you to rewrite the story that you're telling yourself that says systems are hard, there's too many, why am I so reliant on them? Systems have been designed to make your life easier, not harder. Okay, so once you can get your head around what you actually need and what's going to work for you, you can harness that. Okay, we've lost the beautiful Jess. It's just you and me now. That's okay. Us stickers. She'll be back. So I will pop that in the group because that was a lot taken, yeah?
Yes, I was trying to write, but I ran out of it.
I will do it in there with, you know, so that you can just get your head around it and have some time to think, okay? Now, I'm going to move on to Shannon's question because I want to make sure I answer everything that everyone put in there. So I do apologize, Maya, but I'm sure you will get value out of all of this too, okay? So Shannon said she's looking for essential system suggestions as she restarts her business to keep it super streamlined and simple. She uses a paper planner, Google Calendar and Documents, PayPal, Aweber, Lead Pages, and Teachable. She knows she's missing a scheduler, new payment system, and leads, client and project tracking systems. Okay. I would replace your paper planner with Trello and use your Google Calendar to its full potential. PayPal, Aweber, and Lead Pages are all great. You don't need to change from them unless you are feeling like you're having an issue with them, in which case, let me know. You haven't mentioned whether or not you have a website, but if you do, I would suggest building some templates on the website so that you can kind of make a copy of and update the images and the text rather than paying for Lead Pages on an ongoing basis. That's just cost cutting. I'm a bit of a tight ass. Teachable, if you really want to, it's a great platform, but if you're looking for a more low cost, alternative, well, it's not low cost alternative. If you're just looking for an alternative, it can be replaced with MemberVault. Okay. MemberVault includes all of its features in the free plan, including affiliate tracking, and it's actually free up to the first 50 members who purchase your course. You actually don't pay anything until that ticks over 50 people. Teachable is capped at 10 members for the free version. Teachable free plan doesn't include dripped content and third-party integrations, but MemberVault does. MemberVault will allow you to drip your content and add third-party integrations on the free plan. Teachable also charges a transaction fee on the free plan, while MemberVault does not. Now, when you do have to start paying for MemberVault, when you have more than 50 people on your who have signed up, it starts at $39 US a month. Teachable starts at $29 US a month. So look, if you're already set up on Teachable, I wouldn't even bother moving off there. Okay. We've already discussed this multiple times during the call. For schedulers, I highly recommend Acuity because it's user-friendly, affordable, and customizable. I do want to ask Shannon, and just when you're watching the replay, pop this into the comments. Why do you need you've said a new payment system? Why do you need a new one? Is my question to that. What else? Client and project tracking management systems. Look, you can, if you want to go techie, I recommend something like Dubsado. It will help you send contracts, workflows. You can do payments through there. You can do forms through there. Dubsado is really cool. I might actually hop into the group at a later stage and do a little Dubsado tutorial because it's awesome. It starts at $35 US a month. But again, it's not absolutely necessary. I will pop, like I said earlier in the call, inside the group, what are the base essential systems? And you don't need Dubsado, but it is useful to have. Maya, do you have any questions after that one?
No, my head's going.
Oh, bless. Yeah, I'm sorry. It is a lot. I did want to I did want to answer everyone's questions, and tech is like a rabbit warren of stuff. But you don't need it all. Okay. And you're not alone. I'm here for another 2 weeks, or for as long as you want me if you come find me.
I'm still working out, do I want 17 hats?
Yeah. Bless. Well, I will hop on to Trello and show you how I use Trello, and then I'll do some other,
that would be great.
trainings in the group so you can see the difference. Luke said, I don't know what I need, but I need all of it. Too funny. We use Later for social media scheduling, Wix to host our website workshops and programs, Stripe and PayPal for payments and invoicing, Calendly for bookings, MailerLite for newsletters, landing pages, and PDFs. We both have individual personal and joint business Facebook and Instagram accounts. Okay. All of that is great, and I don't think you really need to change anything. The only thing that I would look at doing in regards to that to cut costs is to replace Later with Risely for LinkedIn and use Creator Studio for Instagram and Facebook scheduling because they're free. Okay, Risely is like $5 Aussie a month, and I think paying for Later is a fair bit more than that, but it's not necessary. Later has awesome analytics, so if you're using analytics through Later, then just stick with Later. But yeah, all of those systems are absolutely fine. I wouldn't change anything unless, of course, you're not happy with one of them, in which case let me know in the comments and then we'll chat about that. Sindra, recommendations for the absolute essentials in terms of organizational programs. So she has 3 paper planners and to-do lists. Oh Lordy, that makes me twitch. Okay. Get rid of the paper planners. I know they're pretty and they're fun, but you don't need them. And they use Google Calendar, used a bunch of different programs in the past like Trello, but not using any right now. Advantages of Acuity over Calendly. They got a Calendly because it was cheaper, but everyone seems to have Acuity. Okay, so get rid of the paper planners and start utilizing Trello and Google Calendar to their full potential. I'm gonna have to hop into the group and do like some other trainings because I had like a full 2-hour presentation ready to go, but we are way into that. Calendly is fine. There is nothing wrong with Calendly. The only difference is, and don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Do not know what everyone else is doing. That's not your business, okay? If you are happy with Calendly, you stick with Calendly. I will tell you the difference between Acuity and Calendly. Acuity starts at 15 Aussie dollars a month, whereas Calendly starts at $10 a month. Okay, so it's a $5 a month difference. What Acuity has that Calendly does not have a client database type style. It doesn't have multi-location capabilities. It doesn't have recurring appointment capabilities, and it doesn't have room booking capabilities. Okay, but those are the only things that Acuity offers that Calendly does not. Acuity is super easy to use and can be beautifully branded, better so in my opinion than Calendly. But again, if you are happy with Calendly and you do not need multi-location capability, etc., stick with Calendly. Okay, and those are all of the questions that are received via Facebook. Feel free to pop any more because I'm sure as I've been talking, you've been going, what is she on about? Like, what about this? Please pop them in the replay comments and I will get to them, I promise. But Maya, any questions other than your 17 hats?
Yeah, one question.
Sure.
If I put all of my passwords into LastPass, how do I make sure they're deleted from Google?
Oh, good question. Because I've never used Google for that purpose, I'm sure there will be an easy. So from Google Chrome?
Yeah. I listened to what you said about not to use Google Chrome, and of course I have. So
yeah,
make sure that they're actually gone.
Yeah,
or
here you go.
They can use them.
This is how, my love. I'm popping a link in the chat. Be sure to pop it over to your own thing, and that's got a step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 to show you how to remove it from your browser. Okay, can you see that? Can you see that link in the chat?
I will get onto that now.
Okay, beautiful. So just save that. Yeah, that should help you out. Now. Right, I'm just going to log out of all of the stuff that I've logged into while we've been chatting so that I can have a clear thing. I'm a big fan of decluttering your stuff so that you can have space for grace to do, you know, let creative inspiration come in. But if you're harnessing all your tech and all of your to-dos and all of the stuff in your head, it's just not going to work for you. Yeah. Right. Let me share my screen. Let's see what this does. This is the beautiful presentation that I initially had for you that we're now an hour and a half in, and I'm deciding to introduce it to you. Okay, so who am I and why should you care? I'm an intuitive business coach and founder of a creative marketing agency, and I am a systems geek. Okay. I don't know if any of you are into human design, but I'm a projector in human design. And my kind of gift here on earth is to teach. I'm a naturally gifted teacher, and to harness the power of systems. Okay. So when I polled you guys in the Facebook group, I kind of put some things in there. So, you know, what does everyone want to learn about? And everyone said, you know, organization, systems, integration, workflows, and social media organization kind of thing. So that's what this was all about. But we've kind of gone way off topic with some other actually more important stuff. So that's totally cool. Let's talk organization, because this is your 17 hats question, Maya. Decluttering your digital space really allows a creation of space both in your mind and in your business energy body for inspiration and flow. I'm a strong believer that your business has its own energy body, and you as the entrepreneur have your own energy body, and then your client has their own energy body, right? So it actually becomes this kind of tripod dance between three energy bodies that all have to be in flow to create a successful experience, okay? And if your business body has all of these blocked up channels and unnecessary crap floating around in the background, it's gonna flow through into other parts of your business, okay? And we don't want that, all right? So I strongly encourage you to organize all of your business tools and resources into one place so that you know exactly where you need to go when you need something. You know, that those pesky times when you're filling out a form, they're like, oh, what's your ABN? And you're like, who even remembers their friggin' ABN, right? I'm going to show you a Trello board that I will give you access to. I'm going to give you this Trello board that you can plug and play in your own business. That will simplify that, okay? Quit scrolling through Google Drive, your overloaded desktop, searching in your email inbox, because your time is your most valuable asset. For example, if you charge, this comes back to the outsourcing thing as well. If you charge, for example, Maya, $75 for a 1 hour Reiki session, I'm just pulling this out the air, right? $75 for a one hour Reiki session. But you need to get your opt-in created, right? And you know that tech is not your thing. I'm not saying that you don't. I'm just saying, you know, just examples. I'm hypothesizing here. Such a geek, hypothesizing. That you know that your opt-in is going to take you 7 hours to perfect, that you're going to dick around with it and not actually get it out there because you just want it to be perfect. And I just want to stress that imperfect action is better than no action at all, and that it's going to up your stress levels by about 6, right? You could go and outsource that and spend those 7 hours doing 7 hours worth of Reiki. So 7 times 75, whatever that is, it's a nice amount of money. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah. And it goes for the same of wasting your time looking for that ABN. You know, and it's not all about making money either. I do want to stress that. We are not just business owners. We are spiritual beings. We are spirits in a 3D body. We need space to be. Okay, we need to make space in our business for being. That beautiful dance of the masculine and the feminine needs to be in balance. Too much doing and you're going to get depressed and burnt out. Too much not doing and going, oh, I'm just going to sit here and manifest my next 3 clients. And I'm down for the manifestation, but you still got to do. That's not going to make you money either, right? So now that I've said all of that, I want to introduce you to Trello. Now, don't get scared of my Trello. My Trello is crazy because I run my whole business on Trello, right? I've got my clients' boards on here. I've got my team members' boards on here. I've got boards for days, people, okay? I don't want you to get scared by that, okay? Your Trello will not look like this. You will have like 3 boards on your Trello. Where is templates for soul clients? That's you guys. Okay, business in your pocket is the Trello board I am going to share with you, okay? Now, this can be replicated in Asana. It can be replicated in 17 Hats. I like Trello the most, and I've used the other systems because, and this is super superficial, I like to have pretty pictures that I can change on the backs of my boards, because that helps spark my creativity. I don't want a very masculine looking list of stuff down my page, because that does not inspire me, and then I don't want to do it, because on the days when business gets hard, you just, like, that's not inspiring. You don't want it. That is, I like Trello for that purpose. But you guys are going to get this template, this exact template. Okay, I'm going to show you how to copy it across to your Trello and how to use it. This first one here, business information. When you open it up, you're going to insert your business name here. And it's got instructions. Below, record all of the links where people can find you on the internet. I want you to pop your website link, your Facebook link. If you've got a private Facebook group, put it in there. Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, any other important information for your business, including your email and your ABN number, goes on this card, right? And I will show you a completed card for my business that I use it every day, every single day. I use mine, because I know where that is. I can access it on my phone. I can access it on my desktop. I know where to go to find it. I'm not searching through emails from ASIC going, where the hell is my ABN? Yeah? And it's actually really fun to do. And it feels so good to streamline and organize like this. This next list is the brand list. So you may or may not, when you got your logo done, if you've even got a logo done, received a brand guide or a style board from your designer. This is a board that has all of your colors on it, all of your different logos, the concepts kind of on it. That goes on this card here. Okay. Then you've got all your different logos. You know, you've got logos with a white background, and you've got logos with a transparent background. All of these go on here, okay? So that you can go and quickly grab them whenever you need them, because you never know when you're going to need them. Hex code numbers. A hex code is that funny little thing that you would have got from your designer that's hashtag 86BCDEW200, whatever it is, that makes up, that is the computer code that makes that specific color for your brand show up on a computer. So store those here. Your favorite headshot, because once you get along, and you may already be there, which is awesome, congratulations, that you'll get being invited to be a podcast guest or on a summit, speaking on a summit, or part of a multi-author book, whatever it is. And they're like, oh, can you please send us your headshot? Rather than doofing around and going through, like, did I save it in Dropbox? Is it on my desktop? Like, where is it? You come here and you go, this is my absolute favorite headshot of the month. And you just come here and you save it and you send it. If you've got a Pinterest graphic that you use all the time, put it here. A YouTube banner, Instagram templates, Facebook banners, Facebook group banners, LinkedIn banners, Facebook bios. Copy them all here, because you don't want to have to rewrite or rebuild the wheel every time you change something, because it's a nightmare. Passwords. Now, I do use LastPass, which we've already discussed, for all of my passwords. But I also add them to this board, because what if something happened to LastPass and suddenly every password that I need for all of the systems that run my business are gone? I store them here. And I have for ages, and I know that some people can be a bit uncomfortable with that and go, oh, well, what happens if someone hacks your Trello? You will know about it if someone hacks your account, because they'll try to log into whatever it is, and they'll send you alerts saying, did you try and log in from Nepal at the top of Mount Everest? And you will go, no, I did not, but I wish I was there. And you can, go in and mitigate that. If you are not comfortable with storing your passwords on here, then please don't. Okay, it's not necessary. None of these lists are necessary, guys. I am just sharing with you what I have found to be the most effective and efficient and streamlined way of running your business. Okay, none of this is a must. And just because I do it doesn't mean you have to. I'm just sharing. Okay, courses. We're all guilty of this. Purchasing hundreds of courses or signing up for free courses and never ever doing them. or getting halfway through, getting distracted by another course, looking for that magic pill that is going to make us all the money or make us happy or whatever it is. What I would do is add all of your courses that you've ever bought, or that you can remember that you've ever bought, or every time you buy a new one, you add it here. You put the URL to sign in, your username, your password, and if that course has a Facebook group associated to it, you pop the link in here too, so that you can go, oh, well, I've got a bit of, I'm working on my business today, or I'm feeling like doing some personal development today. I have some space. Come in here and start doing your courses, or stop buying them. One of the two, which is really hard. Okay, but if you've got them all here, you can see, or if you go, oh, I'm just really stuck with something. I'm sure I bought a course about that. What was it called again? You can come into here and find it and find what you need. Okay, rather than going, oh, who was it by? What was it called? And trying to search in your emails, get it up here. Workflows. Workflows are my absolute essential thing in business. Okay, this is what I was talking about earlier, the steps that it takes for whatever it is. It might be client onboarding, it might be client offboarding, it might be how to sign someone up for your course. This creating a red carpet gold star client experience is what is going to keep your clients coming back for more. It makes you professional, and it just makes people happy. You don't want to pay like $7,000 for something and then they've just got like this really clunky manual, onboarding system that you just feel like, oh, I'm not feeling comfortable, because subconsciously you won't be feeling comfortable, right? Workflows take that out of it. Now, I have workflows for literally everything, because I want my business to be able to run without me. If I want to go up a mountain without any signal for 2 weeks, I want to know that my team can pick this up and run. And I suggest building it from the start, not building it when you are onboarding a team. Build it from the beginning. Now, I've popped an example of, for example, this is my actual personal workflow that I'm giving you guys. This is my new client procedure for someone who signs on for a single session of coaching with me. And you can see that I've created a checklist here. Okay. This is actually not real. I don't charge that, but this is just an example. You can see I've created in a checklist, and what I can then do is when I'm onboarding a client, the new client's name goes on the front here and I can tick this off. They've done steps, blah, 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 blah. Okay, and I'm going to assign it to me, and I know that the next step is for me to follow up in 3 days time, so I'm going to put it for there. I'm going to save. This will alert me now saying on the 7th of October, Taryn, you've got to do something in new client procedure, single session coaching. It's not in here. It's not sitting up here. I'm not having to write down anywhere. Remember, it's all in my workflow. I can go, okay, yep, it's the 7th of October. I've opened up Trello. What have I got to do here? Okay, so now I need to change the job status on the project in Dubsado. Okay. Get it out of your head and into 3D. I'm just going to remove all this because this is the template that I'm going to give you guys. So that's workflows. Freebies. We've always, we've all done it. We've opted in for loads of free PDFs, checklists, video trainings, master classes, whatever it is. Organize them all here, because, we all say, oh, we're going to attend live, and then we never do. So put them down here. It's kind of the same as the courses. If it's a PDF, just automatically upload. If it's a video, upload, because I usually send them to you via email so that you can go back and come and do it when you've got some spare time. Okay. Links. Add all of the links you use on a regular basis to this list. So, for example, I've got a class coming up called Organization Queen Masterclass, and that will be here. It'll be Organization Queen Masterclass, and I'll open it up, and there will be a link in here that I can copy and paste and send to people. Okay. Social media. I use this list to add all of my social media information, such as all of the Facebook groups that I'm in, because they, you can only post on certain days, certain things. All of that goes in here so that I remember what groups I'm a part of, and also do an inventory on this, guys. Don't just join all of the groups under the sun. What groups are actually working for you? What groups are filling you up, and what groups are draining you? Where are your ideal clients hanging out? If they're not serving you, leave the group. You don't need to be in there. Okay, it's just stuff clogging up the energy body of your business. Instagram, add your hashtag groups. So if you've got groups of 25 to 30 hashtags, different ones, pop them in here so it's an easy copy paste when you're doing your social media. Swipe files. So swipe files are something that I use for inspiration. So if you've ever come across a landing page from another entrepreneur that you absolutely love, you can do a screenshot of that and use it for inspiration when you're building your next landing page. Now, I'm not saying copy it, because obviously that's plagiarism. It's, I really like the layout of this. Could I do something similar like to this with my branding? And then you put your own copy in and your own images in and stuff like that. Put them here so that you remember and you aren't going, oh, what was that page again? What was that link? And you're wasting time again searching. Affiliate links. Jess asked earlier in the call what an affiliate link actually is. And I explained that earlier. So I pop them all here. Okay. So that they're an easy copy and paste again when you need to find them. Testimonials. When somebody leaves you a testimonial, even if it's via Facebook, go in and copy it out and put it on these cards, because you never know when you might need to copy and paste it and send it to somebody. Okay. Email sequences. I recommend writing your email sequences in a Google Doc first and then adding the links to them here in this list so you can easily find them. So for example, if you've got a meditation and you've written 3 emails that follow the meditation immediately on sign up, write them in Google Drive on a Google Doc and then just put the link here so that you can easily find them. Business systems and programs. This is the thing that, think of all the systems that we've already discussed that you need to run your online business or your business in general. Add them all here with notes on how much they cost you and when they renew, okay? Because you might get a year down the line and find that you've outgrown a system or that you haven't used the system at all, but you paid for the yearly membership. A lot of them auto-renew, okay? If you're not using them, I want you to be on top of this and just canceling them if you don't need them, just reviewing. It's like a spring clean for your business, but it's a systems clean, right? You're going, I actually don't need this anymore. Actually, this is no longer serving me. I need to upgrade platforms. What am I going to do? But you can cancel those and you're not wasting your money with an auto renew every time. So for example, you can see here, Acuity renews on 14th of July, 2020. Set due date for the 14th of June, and it costs me $150 a year. Okay, so I know, and I'm setting it a month in advance so that it notifies me and it says, hey, your Acuity is due to renew basically in a month's time. And I go, oh yeah, I still want to go ahead with Acuity. I'm not going to do anything. And then in which case I move the due date to the following year. Or it might alert me and go, hey, this domain name is due for renewal. Do you want to let it auto renew? And I go, actually, no, I don't use that domain name anymore. I don't want to waste my money. I'm going to let it expire. So I can actually log in and cancel that. Okay. Keep on top of your payments. Be respectful of your money. Okay. Content upgrades. So these are like having a running list of all of your content upgrades so you can quickly access and drop links in Facebook groups or add to blog posts. Content upgrades are things like little extras that people can purchase, or those low cost offers. Those go here, okay, like your $17 email templates or whatever it is for your particular business. You might not have any, and that's okay. You don't need this list, just delete it. And then I've also got a money list, and this can be endless, guys. You make it yours. Just because I'm giving you this template doesn't mean that you have to now strictly use these exact things. If you have something else that you go, oh, I could really, utilize that in my business, then put it in there. That's absolutely fine. But my last one that I use is money. Are you tracking your money? Okay. Tracking your money intentionally. And there is a difference between sales and what's actually landing in your bank account. I track both. Okay, the reason I track them separately is because I may be making more sales than I think that I am that's actually arriving in my bank account. Yeah, so for example, if I sell an $8,000 coaching package, that person wants to pay in a payment plan, I still sold $8,000 that week, but the actual money that's arriving in my bank account isn't landing Do you know what I mean? It's not congruent. So I go, oh, I'm having a bad, if you're only tracking money on its own, what's landing in your bank account versus tracking money and sales, you can easily fall into that negative panic spiral, especially when you're first starting out, where you go, oh my God, things are slow. My business is broken. What's wrong with me? I'm a failure. What is everyone else doing? Surely there's a magic course I can buy. Let's go spend more money. No. You actually made an $8,000 sale that week, love, but you might only have had a $500 deposit in your account. Make sense? It just helps to keep you energetically aligned to what it is you're actually receiving, okay? Which keeps you open to more. But also, track your income and expenses. If you're not using something like Xero, if you're still using a spreadsheet, that's absolutely okay. Keep it in here, okay? Makes sense? Maya, I know that you were away for a little bit of that, but you can, watch that back. Let me give you an example of what it looks like in my own business. This is it in action. Okay, I've even put down the bottom here my email configuration. I've taken a screenshot because when you buy on your phone or something and then you've got to reset up your email and things, this is all the stuff on there. I don't want to be looking for IMAPs and pop ports. Style boards, you can see, my headshots, my banners, they're all on here. Passwords, courses. Now, workflows. This is what we're going to talk about. I think it was next. We don't have that long. Let me talk about workflows before we hop off, and the other stuff I will hop in and cover over the next couple of weeks. But you can see workflows, for example, here. What it is that if somebody wants to book a 2-hour intuitive intensive with me with 2 weeks Voxer access, that's something that I offer. This workflow is where I come, okay? And this is how I write it out initially. I get a blank Google document and I get out of my head and I go, what do I want my client journey or my client experience to be for this soul client? What do I want to have to happen? Okay, what are all the little steps? And I just literally brain dump a first bad draft, even though there's no such thing as a bad draft, It's a first brain dump. What has to happen? And then I refine it, okay? And once I'm clear, another easy way to do it rather than just doing the brain dump is when you are actually doing it. If you are onboarding a client, write it out. What do I do now? What do I do next? Write it down whilst you're doing it. And then you can see that I've put here, the trigger is that a client purchases a 2-hour intuitive intensive. The frequency is that every time a client purchases a 2-hour intensive, this is what has to happen. Then I've put a link to my Google folder where I brain dumped initially, and that has all the canned emails. Now, a canned email is an email template that you have written that only needs to be slightly edited to match the ideal client. Okay, so rather than trying to think and rewriting an email for every single client every time, a simple copy and paste will do. Okay, so let's look at a workflow in action. Step 1, client signs on for a 2-hour intuitive intensive coaching package with 2 weeks Voxer access to me at $765. Okay, plus GST if they're based in Australia. Purchased and booked through Acuity. That's how it happens for me. Step 2, I go and I move the folder in Google Drive from leads to clients. Step 3, I move the card in Trello from leads to a new board specifically for that client. Step 4, I create a card inside the board called clients under the Taryn Reeves team titled business name, client name, and add a copy of this procedure to it. Step 5, change the job status of the project in Dubsado to 2-hour intuitive intensive. I'm not going to go through all the steps, but do you see how broken down that is? Like my 4-year-old could pick that up and run with it, is what I'm trying to say. Break it down. Never assume that someone else who's coming behind you is going to be able to follow your logic, right? Because you want to create that same standard experience every time and know that it's been taken care of. There's nothing worse than hiring on a new team member or having someone else help you out in your business and you spend your whole time worrying that they're not doing it right and micromanaging, okay? Because when you micromanage people, you squash their spirit and you don't let their gifts shine. But if you give them a template to work with, they can do that, Okay, and then they don't feel like they're being micromanaged. They don't, and you know, you're comfortable knowing that things are being done the way that you like them done, that your clients are receiving that gold star experience, and your new team member or your beautiful friend that's helping you, or your husband, whatever, doesn't feel like you don't trust them, doesn't feel like you're watching over their shoulder, doesn't feel micromanaged, doesn't feel valued, doesn't feel like they've got space for grace. Yeah? So that's workflows. I'm not going to go through the rest of this because it is that template I've shown you. It can be as long or as short as you like. Just fill it in. Okay. I've even got one at the bottom that says videos to catch up on. You know, when people sent me videos, it's long. I've got shiny object syndrome, just like everyone else, I'm sure. I am not immune. Okay. So let me show you a workflow in action. So, for example, let's use the beautiful Tash. Tash, I'm sure she won't mind me telling you, is one of my clients. And she is one of my VIP VA clients. You can see that so far through her workflow that she's going on, which will be the same workflow for all of my VA VIPs, I'm now at step 13 where I need to send her a welcome postcard in the mail. So, sorry, Tash ruined the surprise. I send a welcome, like a handwritten note, to my new clients in the mail, no matter where in the world they are, because it's always nice to receive something via snail mail in this world of email. Okay, but I can see that's out of my head. I now sign on to work. It's supposed to be yesterday, it's overdue. I'll change it. I now sign on to work on the 2nd of October, and I just go into this board and I go, right, what do I need to do today? What's due today? And I can go, okay, so, I need to work on Tasha's thing because something's telling me it's due. Scroll down. Oh, okay, that's right. I need to send her a welcome postcard. I write the postcard. I tick it off. And then it goes after 2 months on the package, ask for a testimonial request. So I change this for 2 months after her start date so that it triggers me again in two months' time so that I remember to send the testimonial request. Yeah? Everybody is receiving the same thing. I'm getting what I need from a business perspective. She's getting what she needs as a client. And that's kind of workflows and organization kind of in one little neat package, all using the same system, which is very low cost. Trello is free. Okay, unless you upgrade to business class, but unless you're running a business model like mine, you don't need to upgrade to business class. Okay, Maya, how was that? I know you missed some of it. I've got to wrap it up now because I do have to go and have a photo shoot now. But does that help?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
Are you feeling thoroughly overloaded?
Yes, my head hurts.
Yeah, I can imagine. So just take a deep breath. Systems are here to help you and make your life easier. They are not as scary as you think they are. Okay? And I'm here for another 2 weeks to support you. All right.
Okay.
So have a play. Have a play. We are not in business to be miserable. Bring back the play. Okay. See what works for you. Trust that intuition. You do not have to do any of what I told you. You can choose some and not others. You can choose to do it all the way that I've taught you. But it has to work for you. Okay.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. I hope I answered all of your questions. For those of you watching the replay, please keep asking away. I'm here for another 2 weeks. I'll pop in and do some impromptu trainings as and when I can over the next 2 weeks. But it's been lovely. Thank you for having me.
Enjoy the photo shoot.
I will. Thank you very much. I'll speak to you soon. Have a great day, Maya. Bye.